What's up guys, it's Kai here from MAYHEM TCG, and today I'm going to be taking you guys through how to play my game, actually, as of now, because the rules right now are actually not concrete, and there's still a lot of room for improvement and new rules. So if you guys actually have any suggestions for any rules you think I should add to the game, or you think would be good for the game, you guys can actually leave that in the comments, which would actually help me a lot. To make my game more unique to other games and just make it better in general. But yeah, so I made this mat for this video, which shows you actually a lot of the cards in the game. As you can see, there's a map card, support card, and creature card. There's actually also an attachment card. But yeah, so first I'm going to be taking you guys through all the different types of cards in the game. So getting right into it, here are all the different types of cards in the game. So there are creature cards, as I said before, map cards, attachment cards, and support cards in the game. And there's actually two different types of support cards. There's permanent support cards and instant support cards. So there's a difference, which I will get into later. But these are the creature cards. They all have different types. Like this is a mech type, fire type, nature type, water type, light type, and dark type, which you can tell from the color, obviously. And actually there's also symbols inside. Like, you can't really see it because my printer doesn't print out well, but there are symbols. You can kind of see it there behind. You should be able to see it better from when they are printed from the game type crafter. But yeah, so now I'm gonna go through what is on a creature card. So obviously the color and the symbol is the type, and then up here would be the name and the artwork, and this is actually the cost of the creature, because all creatures cost orbs to play in this game. And this is number 35 out of 100 in the set. And no, this is where the ability would be. This one obviously doesn't have ability, but this one does. They have like a paragraph here that is the ability of the special ability of the creature. And the red number here is your HP or health, and the black number here is attack, which yeah. Now I'm going to show you guys how to start the game, actually. So each player would start with a deck of about 30, 35, 40 cards. Like I said, it's not set in stone, but yeah, so you would start with a deck of cards, and I will eventually sometime come up with a ban list, but as of now there are no bans. You can use whatever cards you want and how many of them you want. But yeah, so you would start with a deck, like pretend this is my deck, and you would put it on your field, and you would decide which player goes first, and then on your turn you would draw 5 cards like this, and then you would choose what orb generator or mine or whatever you want to call it you want to start out with. Now I haven't made cards for this yet, but me and my brother just use colored Lego pieces. Like this is fire, dark, mech, and so on. But yeah, so basically what the generators do is you would start off with one. So let's say in my hand here, I have a fire type and I want to play the fire type. So in order to do this, I would need to start off with a fire generator or mine. And basically, every turn you would gain 1 orb for that type in your mine. So on your first turn, because I'm starting off, I chose this one as my mine, and I gain 1. Now, this creature obviously is 4, so you cannot play him because you only have 1. Because basically you just have to spend the type of orb and the amount it says on the card in order to play the card. But yeah, you would gain orbs every turn. And then your opponent goes, he draws his 5 cards, chooses mine. Let's say he chose a nature mine on the other side. And he would gain 1. Now, you are able, obviously, you are able to buy more of these generators slash mines, because then you're restricted to one card, one type of creature per game. Obviously, if you could only purchase, if you can only have this mine. So now, to buy a second mine, you pay 2 for the second mine. So you would have to have 2. And then pay this to get another mine, like a nature mine. And then every turn, you would gain 1 in each. And then, again, to get a third mine, you would need 4. So I want to spend these 4. And obviously, it doesn't matter. You just add the orbs from whatever mines you want. It does not have to be from just one specific mine. But yeah, 4 to get the third one, then 6, then 8, and then so on. So yeah, that's how you would purchase mines. And you are also able to upgrade mines only once though. So basically, instead of buying another mine, and I had 2 here, what if I wanted to spend these 2 to upgrade my fire type mine? And now in this generator, I would gain 2 per turn. Now you cannot upgrade more than this, because as I play tested it, I saw that was just too powerful. So yeah, the most you can gain per mine per turn is 2. And obviously, if you somehow reach your max mines, you can't spend your orbs on mines anymore. But yeah, so that is how the mines work. Now, I think I briefly explained this before, but now I'm going to show you guys how to play creatures from your hand. So let's say I had a fire mine again, and let's say it's upgraded, and 2 turns pass and I don't spend any of it. So obviously I gain 2 one turn, and then it's my turn again, I gain another 2. Now I have 4, and I want to play my Inferno Golem. And his cost is 4. So basically what I can do is I would just take these 4 and spend it to play my Inferno Golem. But anyway, yeah. So that is how you would play a creature. And to play a different card in your hand, such as a support card or a attachment card. So let's pretend these were in your hand, because obviously you draw 1 every turn. I think I said that before. But yeah, so if these were in your hand and I wanted to play this support card. Now this support card says on the bottom that it's a permanent support card. So I would, and support cards and attachment cards, you don't have to pay anything to play. You can just play them. Now this one, it says you can actually stay 3 times, but it does stay on the field for quite a bit, so that's why it is a permanent card. And permanent ones stay on the field for as long until the ability says that they need to be discarded, or your opponent has a card that can remove them. Now you can only have 3 support cards on the field at once, so that means if you have 2 permanent support cards and you want to play an instant support card like this one, you could do that. However, if you had 3 permanents, there's no spots left, so you could not play any instant support cards. Hopefully that makes sense. But anyway, so yeah, permanent support cards stay in the field, and instant support cards, you play them, the ability activates, and then they would go to your graveyard. And obviously this one says you can only use this 3 times, so once you use it 3 times, it would just go to your graveyard. Now attachment cards. Attachment cards are like support cards, except like specifically for your one creature that you attach it to. So this one says, attach this to one of your creatures in play. The attached creature must be killed before and your opponent can attack any other creature in play. So let's say I wanted to attach this to my Inferno Golem that was in play. Now this ability applies to the Inferno Golem, and my opponent would obviously have to attack this before attacking any of the creature in play. Oh, by the way, I don't think I mentioned before, you can only have 4 creatures in play at a time. But yeah, so that is how attachment cards and support cards work. Now I'm going to be going into attacking your opponent and your opponent's creatures. So basically the objective of the game itself is to kill your opponent, not the creatures. Well, you obviously need to kill your opponent's creatures in order to get to your opponent, but the objective is to kill your opponent. So as of now, you have 30, you and your opponent both have 30 life points each. And when you attack your opponent directly, not the other creatures, you actually use the cost of the card. So if Chomp Apple here was attacking your opponent, it would deal 1 damage to your opponent, and if your opponent was at 30, it would go down to 29, and so on. And if this creature right here, Godshroom, was attacking your opponent directly, your opponent would go down by 3. And obviously, once you go down to 0 or in the negatives, you lose. Or if your opponent goes down to 0 negatives, they lose. But in order to attack your opponent directly, there needs to be no creatures on your opponent's field. So let's pretend your opponent had this creature, it dies, and now there's an empty field, and Chomp Apple can now attack your opponent directly for 1. Now each creature can actually only attack once though. So like Chomp Apple, well actually Chomp Apple can't kill him, but let's say we had an Inferno Golem up against the Godshroom. Now he can only attack once. And also when you play a creature, they can attack. There's no summoning sickness or anything like that. But yeah, they can attack right away. And they can also use their ability right away. And you can use abilities of creatures as many times as you want, unless the ability says different. But anyways, so let's say my Inferno Golem kills my opponent's Godshroom. Now he actually cannot attack your opponent directly because he already used his attack. However, if it was like this, say it was like that, and I use my Inferno Golem to kill my opponent's Godshroom, and now there's nothing on my opponent's side. So I can now use my Magnetron, who hasn't used his attack yet, to attack my opponent directly, and your opponent would subtract his health by 2. So yeah, now how to attack creatures directly. Basically, as I said before, this is the health and this is the attack, and to attack a creature that your opponent has, you would need to have a higher attack than your opponent's creatures. Your creature would need to have a higher attack than your opponent's creature's health. So if my Inferno Golem is going against my opponent's Magnetron, he has 110 health, and my Inferno Golem has 345 attack. He can obviously kill the Magnetron, and he would come off the field. However, if a creature like People of the Sun was here, and she obviously has a tanky health of 400, the Inferno Golem could not attack the People of the Sun Queen because he has a 345 attack and she has a 400 health, and that means she has more health than he can attack, so he would not be able to attack her. So yeah, that is how you attack your opponent's creatures. Now if when a creature dies, you obviously just move it to your graveyard, and that's about it for attacking. Now, I forgot to go over map cards this video, so I'm going to just go over that briefly now. But basically what map cards are is they are cards that stay on the field the whole game, just like this. They would go down here, and they are actually the only horizontal cards in the game. I have 3 printed here, but there are actually 6 in the first set, 1 for each type of creatures, obviously. So this one is Mushroom Jungle, and it says for every 3 nature creatures that die, you gain 1 life point. So now this would remain on the field, and its ability is activated the entire game unless some creature or support card has the ability to negate the ability of the map card for some reason. But yeah, it just stays on the field, and its ability works like that, and that's pretty much. Oh, and I actually was thinking of adding like a health to these map cards that would actually add to your life points. So if this card said +5, and I started with 30 life points, obviously, then I would actually start with 35, not 30. So I was actually thinking of doing that. Let me know what you guys think of that rule idea. I think it's a pretty good idea to strategize like which map cards you want to pick for your game or whatnot. But yeah, that's it for map cards. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully this was a little bit clear for you guys, and you guys get a general gist of how to play the game. If there was anything I missed out on, or you have any questions about how to play the game, just let me know in the comments, and I will answer all of them. But yeah, there will probably be more future rule videos if I make any more videos, or I meant more rules for the game, because I'm still innovating and testing out the game, playing with my brother. But yeah, so make sure to subscribe and like for more homemade TCG content. And I think next video I'm going to be going over the People of the Sun archetype, because now that you guys know how to play, I can go over the mechanics of them. But yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment any questions you have, and I will see you in the next video.